A number of high-profile cabinet ministers departed today amid a dramatic reshuffle, which also coincided with the Chancellor quitting his role. Sajid Javid was the most surprising loss, having walked away following an apparent row with number 10 over advisers. The other departures came as Boris Johnson looked to reshape his top team. It marks his first major changes to his top team after his landslide election victory last year. Key allies such as Dominic Raab and Priti Patel kept their positions, but other well-known figures weren't so fortunate. The Chancellor, Sajid Javid, today quit his post after a fallout with Boris Johnson. He is said to have been told to sack all of his special advisers, with a new team to be formed having oversight of both the Treasury and number 10. He refused to accept these terms and instead chose to walk away from his position. Rishi Sunak, who had been Chief Secretary for the Treasury, has since replaced him. Julian Smith had possibly the most spectacular downfall of all those fired today. He was axed after just 204 days as Northern Ireland Secretary, while his ousting comes weeks after he was hailed for his work in restoring power sharing in the province. It follows allegations that he'd secured the agreement by promising Republicans an investigation into historic allegations of wrongdoing by the security forces. This could raise the prospect of elderly former Royal Ulster Constabulary officers going on trial. Number 10 was said to be enraged at being pulled into this controversy. Andrea Leadsom was pushed from her role as business secretary, becoming the second high-profile cut of the day. She's served in the cabinet since 2016 and formerly ran to be leader of the party. Another former leadership hopeful, Esther McVey, was fired from her role as Minister of State for Housing and Planning. She spoke of being very sorry to be relieved of her duties. Geoffrey Cox was removed from his position of Attorney General today. The boomy-voiced orator was asked to stand down by Boris Johnson and made clear his departure was at the PM's request. He was rumoured to have fallen out of favour with Mr Johnson over his behaviour in Cabinet and was not considered to be a team player. Theresa Villiers was removed from her post of Secretary of State for the Environment, having previously held the positions of Transport Minister and Northern Ireland Minister. She said she was asked to make room for someone new. Discussing her departure, she said, "What the Prime Minister giveth, the Prime Minister taketh away."